Just, you know, just that type of way. Anyway, let's see what that sounds like. It's a little bit of beep. I don't know, you get that sometimes in samples. You won't be able to hear it. So what we want next is kind of a build up. Hey, FX. You see that? That's a riser, mate. Come on. Ooh, that's a weird sound. Ah, that's kind of neat though. But how do we use it? You want to use it. Gotta figure out where to use it though. You see, it's all trial and error. You can see. Ooh, I think we should stretch that a little bit. So, another lesson, you can stretch this stuff. Boom. You see, you can stretch it to whatever sort of size you want, but the pitch changes. Changing the pitch independent of its length is kind of difficult. So let's see. All right. There. You see, we got a little riser there. But I think if we stretch it a little bit, like past that, then you get like kind of an overshoot sort of feel, and then we can have a different riser in there. I think that will work. So another thing we want to do is add this to track 5, because that's past the other tracks there. Go into mixer, and we want to add reverb, we want to add space, we want to add delay. We want to kind of like really mess with this sound, so it's really big and kind of long, and yeah, clear up your mind, guys. Anyway, so we got a delay up in here. And we got, you know, let's do a delay send. Ooh, that's not good. I think we'll just use basic delay. Delay send, it's just, it doesn't use the initial sound, it only puts in the delay. That will sound cool once I have other stuff in there, right? We got a bit of a riser there, but we can put it together with this putting on riser. So let's say we go right to the beginning, and we got some sort of melodic pattern playing, and then we want to have like a, yeah, another sort of way too loud. Most of these will end up being really, really loud. And yeah, just turn them down. That's what I say. They're always going to be way too loud. So just double click them. Go to this volume button here. Pretty straightforward. And this is actually pan. You change the position. This is left ear. This is right ear. And then everything in between. For the time being, I'll just keep it all front and center. So I want, so you hear how the bong, 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 bong was not, you couldn't hear it here? That's a problem. So what we want to do is jump back into this, go here, you see it's number 1. We want to head into here, and we want to do an EQ. And now you can see how EQ, what an EQ does. You might have heard EQ, or you might have seen it on a speaker before. You have no idea what it is. This is what it is. You change the spectrum of the sounds. So this is the kick drum, right? Like, I'm not interested in changing the bass section, not yet anyway. You could usually tighten up kicks by lowering it a little bit around there. This is why I'm EQing. You see, I can turn up the volume of that sound there so it cuts through the louder sounds here. You hear that? Really funky. And now we have an EQ to cut through that butter. So we got a sick ass sound here. So let's go back to the beginning and see what it sounds like. We can add melodic elements. Let's see. So also we want to have like, it's not quite enough what we have there. You want to have this will be loud as hell. So maybe you can pan it to the left and see what that sounds like. Sounds pretty decent. And at this point, you'd have the bass coming in. Now we're not doing funk. That's more of a funk pattern. So right back to the beginning with all of our parts and everything. And actually, we can do like Lazy Man stereo here. Click here. Actually, if you want this in both ears, Lazy Man stereo without using the mixer is clicking this little wave thingy here after putting two of them. And what you do is you make unique. That's it. Now it's its own clip. So if you double click this, you can change the pan to the other side. And what you get is stereo sound. Now what I don't like is that this is just ooh, don't know what happened. Okay, be careful of switching tracks, because if you, yeah, you know what I mean. So I switched both of these to track 5. Let's see what happens. That's really loud, and I haven't the faintest why it's so loud. But anyway, there we go. So we got a bit of a stereo sound, bit of delay, bit of reverb, and we can actually stretch the hell out of these things if we so desire. And turn off stretch when you're done with it, because there will be many times when you're just trying to trim a little clip to make it sound better, and you're gonna squish it all to hell. And yes, it is not fun trying to re-stretch it. But actually, on that note, there is undo in FL Studio. Usually it's Control Z. I'm Canadian, Z. But in FL Studio, it's Control Alt Z. If you do Control Z, you go back and then you do it again, and then it undoes the undo, so it goes forward again. But if you can Control Alt Z, then it will undo like you're used to. It'll just keep undoing. And also open a menu on this side that tells you your current project, and we'll look into that in a bit, because we will have to undo something at some point. Anyway, we got a riser up here. These could be a little bit louder. We want to have like kind of a powerful effect when it comes to the explosions. Just that's the whole point of it. There we go. So another thing we want to do is there's a plugin I've included. It's a Magic plugin, and I'll kind of demonstrate it right now by well, this one's in there, but we can spatialize this. So this one will go in 6. So you want to put these in tracks. That's the mixer. Mixer, you can add a whole bunch of effects up in the mixer. Just you got to change the track, and you can do it in the step sequencer here. You can change the track on whatever you like. It's pretty cool. But anyway, what we're after though is going into the mixer and adding a stereoizer. This thing is awesome. It's really, really quite enjoyable. And you'll see what I mean in a second. I love it. See what happens. So yeah, everything has like a hell of a lot more space to it. One excellent thing to put it on is snare drums. I love it on the snare drums. You'll see what I mean. So this is channel 4, as you can see. Snares are pretty much always channel 4 unless you like, delete it. Just toss this in. Where is it? There it is. Oh, it doesn't. Seems to have changed the tone of the snare this time. Doesn't usually do that. I think we just gotta turn the snare down at this point. That's normal. But yeah, look, we got space to the snare now. If we turn this off, we got some space up in there, you see? And we can even push it right up to the top, which pushes it more towards mono. But it still gives it space. You see that? So now we got like a nice kind of realistic snare. It sounds like you recorded it. It's really awesome. That's too... Alright, the thunder explosion, whatever, is still too loud. But we don't want it too quiet either. We want to make a statement here. So, let's see. So we got like a down riser here, which is also too loud, I gotta admit. Turn it down a bit. So we want this to be some like grand opening, so we gotta have some sort of melody in there, right? So anyway, save, always save. You can hit Control S actually. If you hit Control S, which I'm doing now, there you go. You see up in the corner, up in this corner here, if you hit Control S, save to Dumbo.flp. And that is how it is done. Control S is your friend. Press it frequently. And actually, if you do Control Alt Z, and you're taken to the project menu, you can go way back in time on frequent backups. Like backups are made every 5 minutes, I do believe. So if you really mess something up and you can't go back, let's say you unstretched a very sensitive channel. Let's say you stretched a vocal channel. Like if you stretch a vocal sample right after you painstakingly matched it to the music, oh my god, it ruins everything. Like you'll be yanking out your hair. So that's why backup is so good. So turn off stretch when you're done with it. Turn it off. You'll have a bad time. Anyway, this is still playing. It's pretty funky, it's pretty fresh. And I hope that you're maybe doing some other things too. Just kind of experimenting and playing around. But you should be feeling pretty good because you're grasping how real big producers out there make their music, you know? And I'm giving you some pretty crazy secrets as well. Like all these plugins that I'm giving to you are completely free, and they sound excellent. So we're gonna put same thing on the hi-hat. You hear how the hi-hat now sounds more full-bodied, thin, and now it's got a body on it. See what I mean? You might have to turn it down a little bit though. Like the spatializer seems to turn up the volume on certain things. So yeah, if it does, just kind of crank it down a little bit and you'll be good. There's a riser. Let's just kind of flow to it. I think like it's interesting. The actual kick drums are creating like the melody in the background here. Save. So we got this so far. Boobity boobity boop. but what we want is a bit of, you know, that music stuff. So let's go up to pattern 4, and I'll teach you how to add a channel. Hooray! Whatever that means. You have no idea, do you? Here we go. We're gonna hit this little bugger here. This friendly looking, I don't know why I did that. This friendly looking trapezoid here, upside down, and rhombus, and I don't know. What am I talking about? Losing my mind here. So what I want to do is you want to add a synth. I'm trying to think. This is a free synth that I included, Dulcet. I'll go over this. Let's see what we can do with Dulcet here. So Dulcet, and actually this is a perfect opportunity to teach you about first detached. You see this in the corner? So let's just go over this. You will quickly learn that you can't see all of your plugins. And if you don't know this next tip, this will piss you off because you want to reach a one knob down right at the bottom. Whoa. The graphical glitch. What? Is this a glitch or a feature? Ooh, it's a bit weird, isn't it? Huh. Well, let's hope it doesn't break while I'm doing this. But anyway, so click this little friendly little happy little arrow in the corner here. You just want to do a little happy little detached. It says a terrible Bob Ross. Detached. You want to make it detached, not like depressed and separated from reality. Not that type of detached. Hopefully your VSTs remain happy and sounding good. But anyway, hit detached. Try not to get inspired by it. Become detached yourself. But as you can see, what happens? Ooh, now you're flying over everything else. You have conquered it. You are now the king of the castle. You can take this bugger anywhere you like. You see? It's like being constrained and then freedom. Jail and then release. Wonderful. Cathartic. Anyway, I don't know what sound is on this right now, but you can actually go ahead and hit the Y key on your keyboard or whatever you like. Or ooh. There you go. That's the Y key. Sometimes it doesn't work. As you can see, it is a keyboard. That's right. Your keyboard is a keyboard, if you know what I mean. It is a piano sort of thing, and it's played the same way. So let's say the top row here are all white keys, and then you have black keys in the number row. But some black keys don't work. So right now I'm pushing number 8, which would be a black key, but it's actually between, I do believe, B and C, and there is no black key between there. And the same thing goes for between E and F. And again, you don't have to really know that. It's just a piano thing. You can look it up on Google or something. And if there's enough demand, I can go over the basics of piano. Absolutely, because you know, FL Studio involves piano, but I think it's pretty straightforward when it comes to piano.